All right, guys. Awesome. Ricky, you know what? I hate talking Bears with you because you're a damn Vikings fan.
Yeah,
but
Skull Vikes, baby.
This is a conversation that I am so happy to have with you because
We're on the right side of the table.
This is honestly really the only, I guess, opinions that we have that are very connected, I would say.
With a grain of salt.
Our Chicago Cubs. Yeah, I don't know why you're so worried. I mean,
Murphy's Law, man. Not just a goat. Murphy's Law.
Stop it.
Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. That's been my entire baseball history as a Cub fan.
So if you guys haven't been paying attention, I don't know why you haven't been. The Chicago Cubs are the greatest.
Or your name's Patrick, you live in Bikini Bottom where you live under a rock.
Wow, Ricky, SpongeBob references.
It's a good one.
On Behind the Pen.
That's a good one.
You may never come back.
You don't like
because
SpongeBob?
Of that. I love SpongeBob.
Okay.
How dare you? If you're going to talk about SpongeBob, we need something better than that, like Larry Lobster or whatever. Anyway, the Chicago Cubs are ready to win the World Series this year, and I firmly believe that. I've been saying that all year on this show. Going back to May, really? And well, I guess they had a little scare in June, you know?
I think even before the season.
In July, I mean, they were
like
going
March.
Into the...
March, you were ready to crown them champions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Are you kidding me?
Especially
After last
with the
year,
healthy Schwar daddy.
Well, yeah, that was tough, but you see that they were going to win over 100 games without him. So that is something. That is absolutely something that tells you that this Chicago Cubs team is special. What's interesting to me, really, they had that struggle in July where they went 5-15 or whatever, and we were pulling our hair out. We were like, oh man, they're not the best team in baseball anymore. What's going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. We're in September. They're about to clinch, and I'm not sure if they are winning tonight.
It's 5-4 right now. Bottom of the 8th as we're recording this right now.
Okay, so if they win tonight, they clinch. If they don't, and the Cardinals lose, they clinch. I'd rather see the Cubs clinch on a win, but hey, they're going to get in.
I know you hate him, so that's why I'm going to reference him. I'm on the same side of the table as David Kaplan at ESPN.
It doesn't matter how you do it, just do it.
Just get done.
Oh, give me a freaking break.
Just get done.
That bald-headed guy.
Just get it done. I don't care where it happens, when it happens, just get it done.
No, it's going to happen.
I know.
Like in 08 when you saw these signs, it's going to happen. This is a different Chicago Cubs organization.
And then we
8
got
years
swept
later
by the Dodgers that year.
Well,
yeah, it was going to happen, all right.
You know what, Ricky?
But I don't have to worry. It's not going to end that bad.
I got to ask you, man, why are you so concerned about the Chicago Cubs not winning it all this year?
Well, it's not that I'm concerned. Like, this is a great team. This is probably
the best Chicago Cubs team.
No, it's not probably
anyone's ever seen.
It is the best Chicago Cubs team.
Because nobody's over 100 years old.
That I have ever seen. However, there's just that little piece of me that's very like, okay, something's going to go wrong.
See, now that's the mantra that's gone.
And I don't know what...
It's over, Ricky.
It's not over until it's over.
Ricky, that is in the past. No more of that.
It's not over until it's over.
Ricky, stop being so worrisome. I'm telling you right now, that kind of ideal...
Like, I'm telling everybody that I know that once October 1st hits...
It'll be a wreck.
It is going to be a roller coaster. There's going to be some days where I'm really happy, like Cloud 9. Then there's going to be other days where it's like end of the world, Ricky's on suicide watch. Not really, guys. You don't have to worry about me. But
yeah.
It's going to be like extremely high, extremely low, no in between, roller coaster up and down the entire way, because that's how it's going to be this October because of the expectations you're laying on me about this World Series, because I do see it.
Yeah.
I see it.
This is the best team.
This is a World Series team. And then there's also the thought of, hey, you know what? If it doesn't happen this year, it'll never happen.
Well, no, stop. Stop. Never happen. Come on. This team is built for sustained success, but this year is their best chance by far to win the World Series, and only because of the different dynamics that make up the Chicago Cubs of this year. Jake Arrieta, obviously, is one of them.
Lester's actually pitching well at the end of this, towards the end of this year.
Lester's having a very good season.
Kyle Hendricks, the future Cy Young.
He's going to win Cy Young. Chris Bryant's the MVP. Dexter Fowler's on a one-year deal, and he's going to earn his money next offseason. This is the team right now to do it. Boy, I would love to have
could you imagine if Fowler actually went to the O's?
No, yeah.
Imagine that. That would have changed
totally
the dynamic.
Absolutely. Who would be your center? Jason Hay would be your center fielder. I mean, you would have Chris Coughlin possibly. I mean, different things. Albert Almora would probably be up. Jorge Soler. Different combinations of different guys. But my gosh, you see the value in Dexter Fowler, what he has with the Chicago Cubs this year in center field as a leadoff guy. He's so valuable. This man is one of those. He goes, we go. And that's Joe Madden. And I bring up Joe Madden Because, Ricky, you're so worried about the Chicago Cubs. And you're so worried about
I love Joe,
superstitions and, the go to 45 and the Black Cat of 69 and Bartman of 03 and the 2 sweeps in 07 and 08. That is irrelevant. Absolutely irrelevant.
It's not really like I'm not thinking back to 03 or 08 or 07 or all these other years that I've just seen, like
98,
like, I don't know, the Braves, the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, the Marlins. I'm not thinking about those. I go back to last year. And I know before you yell at me, it's a different team. I know that. And this team, like, I kind of feel like it's the same thing that Jack Del Rio said to his Raider team after week 1. Last year we learned to compete. This year we learned, like, we're going to learn to win.
Yeah.
And that's what we're seeing from this Cub team. But I'm still scared. There are some teams that still scare me.
Okay, why?
One of which being the Mets.
Why?
Dominant.
Because
like
they're starting pitching.
I have nightmares of Thor and DeGrom and all of these pitchers just dominating us.
Well, Steven Matz won't be there. Matt Harvey won't be there. You have to worry about Syndergaard.
Yeah, Thor. Like I said, Thor and DeGrom. Those are the guys in my nightmares.
Here's the thing: the Cubs couldn't hit good pitching last year. They couldn't, and it was obvious. But this is you said it. This is a different Chicago Cubs team, and they're proved they can win the big games. Yeah, there are specific matchups that probably bode well for other teams like Mad Bum, Cole Hamels, guys like that. But in the sense that right now you look at the NL wild card, are you worried about anybody in the NLDS? Whether it's the Giants, the Cardinals, or the Mets? Because I'm not.
I am really like, it's not.
Really, the only team that I'm worried about is until the World Series when they might have to face the Rangers, and that's only because of Cole Hamels in their rotation.
I'm not even thinking about I'm not thinking about the AL yet, because I'm thinking about we got to get to I've never seen a team of mine get to, except for the 90s Bulls when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I have never seen a team of mine. Well, I mean, you could kind of count the Blackhawks, but I wasn't really a fan until that first championship. So I'm really looking Cubs-Vikings. Mm-hmm. Haven't seen one of them reach a championship. And the only reason the Bulls did is we had the best player in the league. Best player ever.
Just that fact that worries you?
Well, it's one of the things where the Giants and the Mets worry me. The Giants, because this is going to sound stupid, but it's 2016.
Yeah, I know.
You know what happens.
You're in kindergarten right now analyzing this. But
A, you know what happens in even years. The Giants win the World Series. B, what if Baumgartner does turn it on? And I know you're saying, like you were telling me before the podcast, I'd rather play him twice than 3 times if we wouldn't see him in a 7-game series. But still, that's one where if Baumgartner turns around, wins those 2 games, that's game 1, game 5.
Sure.
Or game 1, game 4.
Yeah.
And with the Mets, I just have nightmares from last season, what that team was able to do to us. I look at the other side, the Dodgers and the Nationals. I'm not worried about those 2 teams at all. Mm-hmm. The Dodgers, to me, are a
Nationals
joke.
Lost Strasburg.
The Nationals, A, lost Strasburg. B, all we got to do is walk Bryce Harper, and they don't know how to beat us.
Well, they have Daniel Murphy behind him now, so that's different.
But that's the joke. They didn't know what to do. Right. Joe Madden will do something where Dusty Baker will sit there and go, duh, I forgot how to manage, guys.
I feel you. You see, I've been saying this all season, that the Giants scare me the most in the National League. And they're definitely, probably, most likely, those are all superlative right there.
Well, they're probably going to beat the Mets.
And I'm saying, like, with the Giants, I'm worried that with the Cubs, and they match up, their rotation and their lineup, they're so balanced. But they're 20-35 since the All-Star break. They're the worst team in the second half by far. And this is insane with the Giants. I just can't fathom. Their lineup is so stacked. Their rotation with Samardzija, Cueto, Mad Bum,
who I really
Matt
want
Moore.
to see? The team I really want to see in the NLDS? The Cards. They're the team I want to see because they're a team that, and I know you're probably thinking, well, Ricky.
The Cards have the season series on the Cubs, don't they?
They've dominated you like X amount of years in the division. Yeah, but I'm confident that we can beat them in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Because A, we did it last year. B, we're a better team than them.
Well, it's because the Cubs can beat their pitching staff.
Yeah. And, like, that's one where it's like, I want to see them, and they're only a half game behind the Mets.
What gives me so much confidence with the Chicago Cubs is one, their pitching staff is the best in baseball with Hendricks, Lester, Arrieta, and even Hamill. But Lackey, you're going to have Lackey over Hamill. And we're going to have another show on Behind the Pen here kind of previewing the playoff roster, but getting away from that, you can run with these four, right? Lester, Arrieta, Hendricks, and Lackey. And that's a pretty solid pitching rotation for the playoffs.
I think even if you had to, you could run three. You could just go Arrieta, Lester, Hendricks, and make it work.
Yeah, maybe have Lackey in the bullpen, but I'd rather have Lackey starting.
Because here's what you can do. And in the playoffs...
Don't even bring up Schwarber.
No, it's not Schwarber. This is with the pitching staff. We don't need Arrieta and Lester to go...
Are you on the Cubs?
No, I'm saying the fucking fan base.
Oh, okay.
We don't need to see Lester and Arrieta go 8, go 9, go 8. Chapman comes in for the 9th.
Like the 05 White Sox, yeah.
We don't need that. All we need them to do is go 5 or 6.
Yeah, because
then turn it over to the bullpen. And what we could do is if we turn into the 3 system that I talked about, if we absolutely had to, there's some days you can go, let's say Arrieta goes 6, then it's Rodon, blah, 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 Chapman in the 9th.
Rondon, Strop. Grimm is having a really, really good bounce back August and September.
Or if it's one where it's
Montgomery,
like, okay,
Travis
Lester
Wood.
only went 6, it's a close game. I don't want to go to those guys because I'm wearing those out. Lackey, give me 3 innings. As a starter, those guys can come out of the pen, give you not like a reliever that's okay. I'm throwing you in here for
and
one inning.
We know it. We've watched playoff series over and over again, and it's a different ball game. The way you manage a ball game, you could take out your starter.
And that's why I like Joe Madden.
After a 4 1/3. Say it's a close game. There's runners on first and second. You have Lester starting. You can pull him. You can pull him in the 5th inning.
Unless Joe West is your ump, then you don't.
What a turd.
Then make sure the catcher can't go talk to the pitcher because that's a visit.
Yeah, he says it's a visit. Well, you can't just make up rules on the spot, Joe West. Who do you think you are?
You know what's the best about that? I know it's a little off topic, but you want to know what's the best about that? I looked at, I think it was a Chicago Tribune article. The quotes from Montero describing the incident. Total confusion.
Oh, of course.
Total confusion.
And you know what? It honestly worked out in the Cubs' favor because Joe Madden got his money's worth and it allowed Chapman to warm up and give him time to warm up.
And it kind of sounds like, to me, I know it's a little off topic, but I'm going to say it anyways. It kind of sounded from what Montero was saying that West kind of baited him into going out there.
And that's usually what happens. West likes to
tapped him on the shoulder, telling him to go out there. But, oh, wait, if you go out there, it's a visit.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. That was ridiculous. And that was like Kyle Hendricks' no-hitter, in the 9th inning.
That was right after it got broken up.
9th inning, gave up a home run. And it was just, nobody's warming up the bullpen. You're going to pull your starter after that happens, especially in the Cubs situation when they're going to win. They're going to clinch. They don't need to use these starters. So, no, that's definitely off-topic conversation, but it happened and it happens. But as we wrap up this Chicago Cubs conversation, I want to bring up this final point in Joe Madden. And when I'm so confident in the Chicago Cubs and why they can win is not only because of their depth, their versatility, their consistent production. They have 2 legitimate MVP candidates in Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant, as well as a Cy Young candidate in Kyle Hendricks, who I believe should be the Cy Young. And if you look at him pitch, he's unbelievable.
He's going to be. And the reason why I say that is there's a stat of for the last, I can't remember how many years, but I remember listening to it on Waddle and Sylvie. For the X amount of years, the pitcher in the NL who came into September and led the NL in ERA September 1st has won the Cy Young.
Yeah, it's just odd to me that Cy Young voters look at Hendricks and say, well, he's not this hard-throwing prototypical Cy Young Award winner when he's pitched to that level. But anyway.
You look at number 2, who's right behind him, though.
Well, yeah. Right.
John Lester.
Right. But there's multiple guys. But regardless, the final point I wanted to make, and I brought up Joe Madden, I'm so confident in the Chicago Cubs team they're going to win the World Series is because of Joe Madden. Above everything else, you have a calming influence in your clubhouse who establishes a philosophy, who establishes a culture, even with a guy with baggages and Chapman, and I've voiced my opinions on Aroldis Chapman, but Joe Madden is so even-keeled. He is so down-to-earth, and he understands every single situation. He has playoff experience himself. I mean, he took this 97-win Cubs team to the NLCS. This was a team last year that wasn't even expected to be good, and they made it to the NLCS. So
we got the wild card and then able to win the wild card. That was like, we're happy to be in the NLDS. And it's like, holy shit, we beat the Cardinals.
They're going to win it all. This is it. This is the year, guys.
I hope
they're doing it.
And you want to know who I hope we play in the World Series if we get there? I got to say if because nothing's written in stone. I want to play the Red Sox.
What a story that would be.
Because
David Ortiz, former Theo Epstein.
I want to see Ortiz, Grandpa Ross, who's walking away from the game with the hardware. That's what I want to see.
A lot to look forward to.
Who's walking away? If you were saying, Ricky, you got to pick another team that's not the Red Sox, I want the Indians.
Oh, sure.
Theo Epstein,
68
his
years
former
or 64,
manager.
64 since the Indians won.
Either way, a drought's dying. I would hate to see the Cubs lose to Cleveland. I can't have Cleveland winning 2 championships
That's a little
in one
much, huh?
calendar league or one calendar year because the Browns ain't going to win shit.
Sure.
But, yeah. Ugh.
I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to October baseball.
October's going to be stressful.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Stressful.
The Chicago Cubs are on the brink of clinching the NL Central. Their first time they're NL Central champs since 2008.